These cranes belong to a working container terminal on Pulau Brani beside Sentosa. Within the next few years, its port operations are expected to move west to 2 hours. Singapore plans to use much of the land left behind to build a far larger visitor district. The official vision could eventually double Sentosa's annual visitors. But turning a port into a resort is easy to draw. The harder question is how to move twice the people without destroying the island escape they came to enjoy. Pulau Brani is not spare land waiting to be discovered. Its position beside Singapore's harbour has repeatedly shaped its purpose. The island held military facilities, a coal depot, a tin smelter, and ship repair work. A naval base opened in the 1970s. The container terminal followed in the 1990s. Each use belonged to a different version of Singapore's economy. Now, port activity is consolidating at 2 hours, where a much larger automated port is being built in stages. That frees Brani from one national role and opens it for another. This is the same pattern we saw on Sentosa. Scarce waterfront land is not left unchanged when the country's needs move elsewhere. The difference is scale. Brani adds another 120 hectares to a destination already covering about 500. The Greater Sentosa Master Plan looks across both islands and roughly 2 decades. Developments are expected to appear progressively from the early 2030s, not in one grand opening. The ambition is striking. Sentosa recorded more than 16 million visitors in the year ending March 2025. The corporation says a completed Greater Sentosa could attract twice today's number. That implies roughly 32 million visits a year. It is a planning ambition, not a guaranteed forecast. And it changes the central question. A bigger map is useful only if the entire system can support the crowd. The plan therefore reaches beyond attractions. It covers arrival points, public paths, transport, greenery, and the relationship between both islands and the mainland. Greater Sentosa is being planned as a district, not an amusement park. The first pieces are appearing on Sentosa itself. Sensoryscape opened in 2024, creating a landscaped route between Resorts World and the beaches. It treats movement through the island as part of the experience. Nearby, Resorts World has started building a new waterfront development targeted for 2030. Its official plan places hotels, dining, and public waterfront space along the arrival edge. Together, these projects reveal the sequence. Singapore is improving how visitors move through the existing island before the largest Brani sites become available. They also show why the master plan cannot be read as one construction schedule. Some projects are open, some are committed. Others are still lines on an artist's impression. Knowing the difference matters. The official images make Greater Sentosa look complete. In reality, the plan contains 3 different things. There are developments already committed. There are planning intentions without final designs. And there are ideas still being studied. That does not make the vision meaningless. It tells us what to watch. The clearest example is Downtown South, a project with a confirmed island, but many details still missing. Singapore first announced in 2019 that land would be set aside for the labour movement to build a new resort, probably on Brani. At the 2026 National Day rally, the location became explicit. Downtown South will be built on Pulau Brani as part of the wider transformation. The idea is associated with NTUC and a worker and family leisure destination, conceptually echoing Downtown East. But that is where the certainty stops. There is no published room count, detailed list of facilities, construction start, budget, or opening year. It would be misleading to turn an artist's impression into a finished resort design. For now, Downtown South matters because it signals a public-facing use for Brani, not because every attraction has been chosen. If Greater Sentosa approaches 32 million annual visits, access becomes the project inside the project. The existing Sentosa Express was designed for a smaller island. Crowds already concentrate at Vivo City and around a limited number of arrival points. The master plan intends to replace it with a higher capacity people mover system, linking a future island heart with Sentosa and Brani. The direction is official. The final technology, route, stations, cost and construction dates are not. Planners have also studied a possible connection from the mainland near Cape Pel toward Brani West. That remains a feasibility question, not an approved rail line. Cable cars, walking routes, and possible water connections may distribute visitors, but none removes the basic test. The transport network must expand before the crowd does. Otherwise, a destination designed to feel like an escape could begin with a queue. Transport is only one layer of the engineering problem. Brani and Sentosa sit on a low, intensively used coastline. New waterfronts must deal with heat, heavy rain, rising seas, and sensitive habitats while remaining comfortable for people on foot. Singapore's coastal protection studies have recommended barriers between Sentosa, Brani, and the mainland. These are resilience proposals, not confirmed transport bridges. The distinction matters because one structure may influence another. Reclamation, drainage, public paths, and coastal protection all compete for the same edge. The master plan promises more forest and heritage connections. Delivering them will be harder than coloring a map green. The success of Greater Sentosa will depend on the spaces between its attractions, shade, access, water, and the coastline visitors actually experience. The largest unanswered question sits on Brani's western side. The master plan reserves a major site for a game-changing attraction, but no operator or anchor project has been announced. Other concepts are deliberately exploratory. Islet links along the beach, water taxis, a floating boardwalk, and new waterfront experiences. These images show the direction of thinking. They are not promises that every idea will be built. That uncertainty may be useful. A 2-decade plan needs room to respond to tourism habits that have not yet formed. But it also means the public should judge Greater Sentosa by confirmed projects and infrastructure, not by the most dramatic picture in the presentation. The blank space is part of the story. Singapore has transformed these islands before. What changes this time is the ambition to make them work as one larger district. The measurable goal is more visitors. The harder goal is a place Singaporeans still choose to return to when there is no new attraction to advertise. That means affordable access, comfortable public space, and transport that arrives before congestion. Greater Sentosa will succeed if Brani adds more than capacity. It must make the island experience better. Bigger is easy to measure. Better will be decided by the people who keep coming back. If Sentosa doubles its visitors, will it still feel like an island escape? Tell us what you think. So there you have it. That's what it turns out to be. If this answered a question you didn't know you had, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And if you liked it, tap that like button. Turns out, it actually helps a lot.